I recently had a conversation with Don Lemon regarding the controversy that has been created over his recent coverage of the N-word. And I've watched the back and forth that he's had with Russell Simmons, who's been calling for more attention to bigger issues, larger social justice issues like the Trayvon Martin case and stop and frisk. And I respect Russell Simmons' point. I also respect what Don Lemon told me, which he said at the end of the day, he's just calling for more personal responsibility for members of the African American community. And Russell Simmons seems to have gone completely against what he was arguing for by posting a sex tape of Harriet Tubman, one of the greatest figures not just in African American history, but in American history, the leader of the Freedom Trail. Russell Simmons felt it necessary to parody her in a sex tape to promote his new YouTube Def Jam channel. And of course he's apologized for it, but really at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, how much longer can we keep going promoting negative images of not just everyday people, but some of the greatest figures in our history? I don't see members of other groups of other races putting out videos about Betsy Ross or Eleanor Roosevelt or prominent female figures in the Latino or Muslim or Jewish communities. Maybe some lower level amateur videographers will do something like that, but it doesn't come from mainstream people with influence. They have a certain level of respect for their past that they don't put out there to the public to just ridicule and disrespect. Some people are going to say, oh, we just need to learn to laugh. But we've been laughing long enough. What are we going to do now? We have built industries in this country off the backs of disparaging images of women, particularly black women. And yes, it's been done by members of all races, but now that African Americans have a certain level of power and influence, we need to really step back and look at what we're doing, because we are destroying our own legacy for jokes, for promotion, and for money. I can't even have arguments with people of other races anymore about what they may be doing to disrespect us, because once again, we do it better than anybody else. It's shameful that we would do this and disrespect the legacy of Harriet Tubman for jokes, and people are going to say that we're too sensitive. But really, at the end of the day, if we can't show respect for our historical figures, forget the fact that we can't even respect those who are walking among us right now. If we can't show respect for those who have helped get us to this path, then we really don't have a leg to stand on as it relates for calling for respect from other members of the American and global community. Russell Simmons was completely wrong and disrespectful for that. And as Don Lemon said, we need to look at how we can be more personally responsible for the negative images that we are putting out of ourselves. Until we do that, we can't have any issues with anybody else who chooses to disparage us, because in 2013, nobody does it better than us.